Get that going. In a day now. And I think we're going to be live there. So, there we go. All right. Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? You are listening to Long Shots Sportscast, Longview, Washington's #1 sports-related podcast, 27 weeks running. I'm your host, Mike Holm. With me, as always, Brady Rucola.
Good afternoon.
And Skylar Lovingfox.
How's it going?
We got a great show for you. We're going to break down the NBA Conference Finals, which are upon us. The Heat have that 2-0 lead over the Celtics. We're going to look at and preview the Lakers matchup against the Denver Nuggets and kind of base our predictions there. We're also going to look at NFL Week 2 matchups. We're going to predict our breakers, our bums, and our upset alerts for the week. Brady's going to go toe-to-toe with Skip Bayless.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to drive this whole thing home. I'm going to give a day one preview for the G1 Climax number 30, which is happening tonight in Japan. So, with all that out of the way, boys, I am thankful for another day here on God's flat earth. And
Oh, yeah. And can I just say thank God. Thank God for the rain. The rain that we're getting. With all the wildfires going on, the smoke is starting to clear up.
Oh, yeah.
Can actually kind of breathe outside without smelling campfire.
Other than the lightning storms probably didn't help the fires last night.
No, but at least we did get rain with that. So that's the only thing I could say. I
Yeah,
don't know. I didn't hear anything about fires with the lightning,
I haven't
which is
heard
good.
anything either.
I haven't either.
But that, I was worried about that when I saw that on the forecast earlier this week. But it's nice, man. Summer's coming to an end. I can already feel the fall vibes, and I'm ready for it. So can't complain in this neck of the woods.
No, I'm pretty happy about it. So, before we get into football, because we're going to be talking football all day long, let's get into
Some NBA action.
some NBA action. We saw a wonderful Game 7 performance by Denver taking on
Another
The
3-1 lead blown by Denver in the bubble.
or overcome by Denver.
That's what I mean.
But it's like, listen, it's like I am so happy for them.
Yeah.
You know, the
For
only
one-
time it's ever happened in NBA history in the same playoff run, I guess you could say, a team coming back from a 1-3 deficit and winning. Denver Nuggets are the only team to do that, I believe, in the playoffs.
I mean,
That's
pretty
crazy stat.
That's pretty incredible, and honestly, I'm glad I didn't give up on this team. I just,
I'm not a big fan. I mean, I'm starting to become one a little bit, but they're kind of rivals to us, Portland fans.
Right.
Yeah.
But respect where respect's due. They are a squad, and they were a team that I think we need to watch out for, and have thought that since last season. So they're only getting better. They're getting that chemistry down. Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., obviously Joker. I mean, they're all coming together, and Jamal Murray, man, that's the one who impresses me the most. God, that guy, when he gets hot, he's hot, and you better look out.
and he was turning it up definitely. Just a great performance from Denver overall.
Oh, yeah.
And we saw, I mean, a terrible performance from LA. I mean, nobody was on. Lou Williams was off. Montrezl Harrell was off.
Pandemic
Kawhi
P.
and Paul George combined for 24 points.
Yeah, I think Kawhi had like 14, and George had a little like less than that. I want to say like 10 or 12.
They made 1 of 10 or 1 of 11 3-point shots.
Which
in
I think the
second
game
half.
prior to that, they hit like a lot of threes.
I was thinking about it the other day. I did the math. If they and they only made like,
Or it was the game before that. I don't know.
or no, I'm sorry. They only made 1 of 7 3-point shots, and they only made like 3 of 11 for 2. I'm thinking if you only made like half of those shots, you guys would have won the game.
I think it was like in the third quarter, I believe they only made fuck man. I think they only scored like a couple buckets, and up until like the 5-minute mark.
Right.
Like that's a whole lot of not scoring and letting Denver kind of get in there. And they had, a couple good leads. I mean, like, they have, like, the whole series, right? Go either way. I think they were up by as much as, I want to say, like, 14
Yeah.
Game 7.
I was going to say they blew 3 double-digit leads in
Yeah,
a row.
right.
I think was the big stat heading out of this.
And that's kind of what Boston's getting angry about. They'll have a nice lead, and then they just get too comfortable out there, and that's what happened with the Clippers.
That's the thing. At a 3-1 lead in a series, you don't get comfortable. You come out with the same fire and you put the team away.
It's not even that. It's like
especially if it's a Denver.
right. And no matter what the score's at, 3-1, 2-2, whatever. When you got a lead, like a double-digit lead, stop being lackadaisical and keep the pressure on.
Honestly, Shaq put it best.
Mm-hmm.
You don't toy with your food when it's
Man.
done.
No, you don't play with it.
You go in for the kill.
You look at the Patriots. I mean, that's kind of the way they do it. I mean, what was it, 2 years ago when they played the Chargers in the playoffs?
Yeah.
It was like somebody dropped a cinder block on a gas pedal. I mean, they were up 20-something to 7 at the half, and then they wound up beating us. We tried to come back, but it was too late. 41-20 because it was just foot on the gas
That's
until
what you
they're
got
dead.
to do. Take the life out of them. Make them think they don't have a chance, and that's what you're not seeing out of the Clippers. And
You give a young team like Denver
yeah.
a little bit of light, and they're gonna.
I mean, come on,
So
dude.
And they've already done it once.
And they've already done it once.
They've already done it once.
we're in a
What?
situation now. We've got the Heat are up by 2.
Yeah.
We've got the Lakers and the Nuggets that haven't played a game yet.
We're witnessing something.
What is
Magical
what
with
is
that
our
Heat team.
predictions here? Because I think we talked about it.
I believe I had Heat in 7.
I had Heat in 7 as well.
I think I had Heat in 7.
And I feel like I gotta stick with it.
I still think it's okay. So, Heat are up by 2, right?
Yeah.
But the Celtics are right there with them. They've had double-digit leads. They've came close. Like, these games are close.
Did
so
the Celtics have home field advantage, or was that
I didn't
Miami?
I don't know. I don't think any of that really
Probably would've
matters
been-
all too much.
Probably would
but,
have been
quotes.
Celtics.
I think you're right.
But I guess what I'm getting at is this is still going to be a series, a good
Okay.
series, and I think it will still go to 7. I thought about it the other day, and I was like, "Oh, we're gonna get a Heat sweep here." I don't
Right.
think so. I think the Celtics are gonna pull it together. They're gonna win at least one.
Well, what I'm telling you now, I mean, the Celtics teams open up my eyes quite a bit because, and you guys have had to hear me talk about it ad nauseum, but you go back to June, May-ish when we were just looking at the playoff seeding. I think before the Blazers even made it, I said the picks that I have to do some damage. I said Lakers and Nuggets because that was when I was all about Denver being the future, which I still am. I said Raptors, and I said Heat because I had a good feeling. I had a dark horse feeling about them. I counted Boston out entirely. I thought, they're young, whatever, but they've shown up and shown out, and they're really kind of proving to almost be like, in terms of youth and potential, they're almost like the East answer to Denver, in a way.
Yeah.
Just in terms of, I mean, how vibrant that team is, how young that team is.
Yeah, I mean they were one of the few teams to beat us in the bubble. I mean they're
and just
strong
how
team.
good they are. I mean, Jason Tatum hasn't hit his ceiling yet.
And he's impressing the hell out of me.
Jaylen Brown hasn't hit his ceiling
Obviously,
yet.
you got Kemba Walker right now doing what Kemba Walker does.
And he's leading. For him, it's got to feel good knowing that this is the furthest he's ever gone in the playoffs.
And this is just the beginning, really. I mean,
He spent his whole career prior to this playing for a bottom-dwelling Bobcats team that made the playoffs like once.
I was hearing it was like a few years ago, maybe a couple years ago.
Bobcats slash Hornets.
He was saying he would take a pay cut on that team if they could get somebody there to help them get a push into the playoffs and actually have a fighting chance of doing it. That never happened. So
Well, and look at it this way. I mean,
Here we are.
We joked and we jabbed about the Clippers. They've got the longest active streak of never making
50 now, 50 years in a row.
a finals appearance
Or-
as a franchise.
I mean, I'm just talking about Western Conference Finals.
But in general, in sports, they've never done it.
Yeah, we don't even need to talk finals. They have not even been to a Western Conference Finals.
Right.
So yeah, that's even worse.
But it's 50 seasons now. But the second longest active streak for that is the Hornets. dating back to their original days in
Yep.
Charlotte and all that, because I believe the Pelicans lineage, they trace back to '02 with the New Orleans move, and the Charlotte Hornets, they get the lineage from 89 or 88 to 2002, and then 2004 to now with the Bobcats. It's strange and dumb, but you know.
So obviously we heard all the banter after the Clippers, losing, Dame and CJ, they were all going at him. It was pretty funny. But then Paul George comes out, like his interview or something like that, and says, we didn't really feel like it was a championship or bust year for us. Like, we still need to get the chemistry down or something like that, right? Well, I guess somebody went and dug up, like, some old shit where, no, that's pretty much the opposite of what you said at the beginning of the season. Like, you're pretty much saying, like, this is championship run. Like, that's
Right.
what we're here for. And, people are memeing Kawhi for not joining the Lakers and getting an automatic ring, this and that.
Good for him.
Good for Kawhi, and I know why he's doing it. I'm pretty
Right.
sure most people know why he's doing it because, like we were just talking about earlier, the Clippers have not made a finals appearance. They have not made a Western Conference finals appearance in 50 years. That's way more impressive to be able to do that with that franchise, be the first player to take your team to do that, than I would say to win another championship that's pretty fucking easy with the Lakers. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree there. I mean,
I think I would rather do that if I'm Kawhi than go and hop on the Lakers and go get one real quick.
I agree. I will say though, I'm glad I didn't jump on the bandwagon of crowning them
I don't
early.
That's ridiculous for anybody to even do. I mean,
because I fell into this trap last year, like we all did with the Browns. When the moment the Browns traded for Odell Beckham Jr.,
thought it was a wrap.
everybody was like, "That's it, boys.
That was the last piece of the puzzle.
They've
right?
got it, man. They've got it. They've got an number one wide receiver."
Mm-hmm.
We didn't account for the fact that their coach was dumb as a bag of hammers.
Yeah.
And that Baker was going to have just a big time sophomore slump.
The breakdown.
It just, and all that stuff. So I'm glad I didn't sit back and crown this Clippers team. I knew they were going to be good.
I thought they were going to be good, and I thought they were going to battle it out. I did not see them going to the conference finals anyway.
As soon as I saw LeBron get AD, I said,
That's the team I see.
the
That's the team when that came out. Okay, they're going to the finals for sure, and they're probably winning
And
it.
that, I was more worried about Denver from the start. I from their performance last season and just knowing Jamal Murray's only like 21 or 22, I thought. He's real young.
Yeah.
And Jokic, he seems to get better. Then he had that slim down in the bubble where we're sitting there going, holy shit, I was more worried about them. And obviously, Portland's got such a scrappy dynamic, and Dame Lillard,
Once I heard, once
he's not
Nurk
a
was
guy
healthy,
you want to bet against.
once we had
23.
everybody back healthy, besides
23.
Rodney Hood, once we had everybody back healthy, I was like, okay, we can actually make a good run.
Yeah.
we could go far. I wasn't thinking finals. I mean, I was hoping for it, and I could kind of see it, but I wasn't like.
But Dame's not. I mean, to think about it though, Dame's not a guy that I would want to bet against.
Nope.
No.
Ever.
I mean, so I don't know.
That team is nothing to bet against, really. I
mean,
mean, don't
That
get me.
series could have been different had the refs not been wearing purple and gold.
Well,
but
and not just that is Collins was out. Dame first his finger,
Well, yeah, and then Dame got hurt.
and then his knee, and that just ended it all, right? Like,
I mean,
that's more what I was worried about.
I'm interested to see
But there's more problems than just the refs. So
who resigns and kind of the future of this franchise moving forward. Obviously, we've talked about it. When the finals are over, they've got a target start date for next season of Christmas Day. The finals would probably end mid to late October. That means that is going to be a lightning fast 6 to 8
and that's
weeks.
good news for us, boys.
hey, I got a question real quick. Who is I Tuck Mahomes into you?
That's I tuck my homies in. Thank you. That's
whatever.
that's Swaggy P.
He tucks Mahomes.
Wait a minute. Holy moly.
Yeah.
Wait. Whoa.
What's going on?
He just offered Skylar a trade in fantasy in my league. It's Allen Robinson, DJ Chark, Kareem Hunt, Naeem Hines, Sterling Shepard for Saquon and Keenan Allen.
Yes. I mean,
holy
that's actually
shit.
Yeah.
You could do a lot more with that than just Saquon. I would totally bite on that.
I'm gonna think about that one.
I
would totally
That was
bite
just
on
hot
that.
off the press.
Okay.
I'd
After watch-
probably bite on that too, but then you got to think. The only thing about lopsided trades like that, you have to think about who are you dropping.
Yeah, who you got to free up for that
I gotta
spot.
drop.
But aside from that,
Got some thinking to do.
but this is a 12-man league, so there's
probably some shitters on your bench.
low value
Yeah.
bench guys. It's an interesting trade. I definitely like it. I mean, it's not bad.
Let's bring it up. So, as we all know now,
Let's talk.
Giannis got the MVP.
Giannis did get the MVP.
Wow.
I mean, he was one of the two guys that
Over LeBron James, really?
it was him or LeBron. I think we all knew it.
LeBron's still going. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Where are you at, Giannis? You're back home.
Stop. The playoffs don't matter
That's
in
right.
the MVP.
Okay.
You can't do that.
I don't know if
And
Giannis deserves
Giannis
it.
plays defense.
Yeah.
Braun
LeBron doesn't play deep.
He played defense once in the fucking playoffs, and now you're all horned up about
He's been
it.
doing that in the playoffs this year, all year.
Okay, but playoffs don't matter in the MVP.
He's been doing it all year.
He don't play defense in the
you
regular
kidding?
season.
You know, that's where we agree to disagree here because there's no fucking way that I think Giannis deserves it.
I think it was
over,
the right choice.
over LeBron, dude.
Yeah.
I still think Chris Paul should have got it, but
Yeah.
So I don't
Well,
have
if you
a,
ask me, Dame Dollar should have got it.
I don't have
so.
a dog in that fight. But
I'll agree with you there. But I think LeBron did way better this year, but I mean that's my opinion.
He's about to get knocked out by the Nuggets too.
I mean, I honestly wouldn't care. Honestly, at this point, I would actually love to see a Nuggets upset. That would be funny. It would
Even
be
better-
insane.
it would be even
It would-
better.
It would turn the basketball world upside
Uh-huh.
down if the Nuggets go to the finals
You know,
over LeBron and AD in the Lake Show. That's supposed to be
I
the
know.
rebirth of the Lake Show.
I know Mike would love to see this, but the Lakers going up 3-1 and then
I want to see it.
losing.
We were talking about.
well, yeah,
this.
because then everybody
That's
could.
what I was saying. Is like,
Everybody could shut up about the Warriors doing it 4 years ago forever. So
Yeah, there you go.
So here's the thing. We had so once and for all, what are our picks for both conference finals games?
okay, so I
still have the Heat in 7.
yeah,
I
I have
can't.
the Heat in 7.
I can't bet against that. But as far as West, I have to say,
Shit. I mean, I think it's going to be the Lakers.
my gut says Lakers in 6.
My gut says Lakers in 5.
Okay.
So I'm gonna make a bold prediction here. Heat in 5.
Okay.
Gentlemen's sweep.
Okay.
That's very possible.
Well, it's not it's only a gentleman's sweep if they win the first game and then you
Well,
win the second 4.
yeah.
but
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
I'm gonna go Nuggets in 6.
Whoa.
Okay. Hey, then we're all about predictions here. I like it. Moving on. Thursday night football happened yesterday. Joe Burrow with the Bengals had a tall task ahead of them heading to Cleveland to take on. Well, I mean tall depending on if you're 5 feet or not.
We were all making fun of this, thinking it's going to be a crap bowl, which was actually a pretty
It was
good
actually
game.
an entertaining game. They went and took
Yeah.
on Cleveland, and despite Joe Burrow igniting something of a comeback at the end there,
He looked a little off that night.
the Browns' offense looked great, and the defense, especially in the first half, really kept Burrow bottled up.
Just say it, Mike. The Browns looked good last night.
The Browns looked good against a
Right.
subpar team.
And that's what we were talking about too when we were watching that. I go, you know what? It's easy for me to say this about the Browns. They're doing good. I go, but give me Browns against like an actual
Listen,
team.
the Bengals, it's obvious the Bengals have issues. Joe Burrow is a huge step in the right direction,
for sure.
but
we saw it.
Joe Burrow doesn't have any blocking.
No.
So I can't blame a lot of that
Joe
shit.
Burrow has
But there's
all.
a couple things there where you can see that he's
got all
he's
the
still
receiving
a rookie, right?
tools. I mean, he is.
There were some things there.
He made a couple mistakes,
Yeah.
but he's got all the receiving tools in the world. He's got a running back who last year, despite not making the Pro Bowl, led the AFC in rushing in Joe Mixon.
The beast.
He's got kind of their own little running back receiver hybrid in Gio Bernard. None of that matters if the offensive line is about as strong as paper mache. Like,
That's
And-
the missing puzzle pieces.
I tell you
there,
what,
man.
Yeah.
for Joe Burrow, you got to give him credit. 316 yards.
Oh, no,
3
he had
touchdowns,
he had a good game.
and no interceptions with
He-
that offensive line.
he
I
had a
mean,
rookie record in terms of completions as well. My thing is, Joe Burrow is the guy for them, but they're not anything this year.
Oh, no.
They will
No.
be. They will probably win 4 games this year.
You know, and I came out last show, and I think they'll win more.
I mean, you got to keep in mind this is not an easy division.
No.
They're losing to Cleveland, but they still have to play Pittsburgh twice a year, and they have to play Baltimore twice a year. So, I mean, I don't know.
I still think they can pull 7 out, but that's just me. I mean, it didn't look like it last night
with
because
their defense
it's the
is
defense
so
that's
soft.
kind of scary,
Their
right?
defense is Swiss cheese, and
that
their, and
run
their
run
O-line,
defense is just garbage.
It's terrible.
I mean, the pass defense I think is a little better, not by much, but the run defense is just fucking atrocious.
Not by much is right.
They were the worst team last year. I think they allowed
Yep.
150 rush yards a game.
Well, they also allowed 100 and fuck how many fucking it was like 108 or
It's all right.
180 passing
I'm
yards
just
a game.
They let their one of their leading tacklers go, and we scooped him up, and he was a backup linebacker for us.
No, it was 108. Yeah, 108 rushing yards a
But,
game. That's what it was.
He's actually starting now. Nick Vigil had that fumble recovery. Pretty good player. But the Bengals, they're not shit this year. It's 4-12 this season, at least as far as I can see it. But Joe Burrow played very good. He actually had a rookie record for completions in a rookie season with 37. And the guy had to throw the ball 61 times.
I know. I heard the announcer saying that. Like, you've been doing pretty good. He got this many yards for 60 completions or whatever. Like, he better have that many yards for 60
I mean,
passes.
well, and he had 316 yards and all those completions, and
a lot of them were short.
how many were to AJ Green?
Oh, he
I
had
mean,
like
you would think you'd see those numbers and you would think
he had like
AJ
13
Green
or
was a
14
huge part of
targets,
that.
but only like 3 receptions.
AJ Green had, if you were talking just air yards, like and air targets, not like ones that didn't count, like 227 yards
Yeah.
worth.
Yeah.
I mean, if
which sucks for me because I played him in fantasy
but
this week.
if they can right the ship, he'll have good games ahead. Like that's a good sign.
Yeah, they need. I mean, it was seeming like it was Boyd was the guy last night for Burrow for the most part.
Boyd, and before he got hurt, Uzama, which by the way,
did you see that video? You can see his Achilles rolling up his leg.
I didn't. I
kind of like that Kevin Durant.
I've
one.
seen one. I've seen 2 Achilles tears happen in my lifetime, like as they happen. Durant and Brandon Oliver, former Chargers running back. Nothing I need to see again. But CJ Uzama tore his Achilles, out for the season, and it's going to be pretty debilitating for him to come back from next year. So we wish
Hate
him
to
all the
see that,
best,
yeah.
because he was actually that's Joe Burrow's first ever TD pass.
Yep.
So, but takeaways from this game: the Browns' offense finally fired on all cylinders. They ran first, and they ran well. Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt both did a very good job.
Oh, they have one of the best running back
That's a
duos.
1-2 punch. If you ever heard of that, that's
Yeah.
a 1-2 punch.
And-
Probably the best 1-2 punch in the league.
Baker
And
Mayfield.
really, it's a 1-1 punch. I mean, those guys could be a number 1 on any team.
Oh yeah.
And credit where it's due, Baker Mayfield had a nice little game too.
He had that one pick, which
He
is whatever.
turned it over
but
one time late in the game, but he played pretty well. He used the play action very good, and
Yep.
they were able to execute on offense.
how about
in a
that
good
bomb
way.
to Odell? Odell finally came out of the woodworks too. So they're actually. I mean,
Yeah.
that was fantastic. I mean, great.
I'd like
he
to-
had a few more catches that game too, and he was looking good. They were looking comfortable, but like we said, this is a Bengals defense. Let's wait and see what
Yeah.
happens when they play an actual legit defense.
I would like to see the Browns do okay this year and get Baker Mayfield under a coach for more than 1 year.
Yeah,
Because that's really hampered his career.
I'm sure.
He's had a new coach every year.
and I mean, I don't want to call it too soon, but I think they could be playoff contenders if they play like they did last night. But here we go again. They played
They
Cincy.
played the Bengals.
So
Right.
we will see.
Okay, here we go. So, moving on from that, before we get into our picks for the week, let's move into a new kind of regular segment. It's I'm calling it breakers and bums. A breaker is something I would define as a breakout performer, not necessarily a rookie. Could be a second or third year guy or a guy buried on the depth chart that maybe could have a good game,
Or a guy who hasn't really
that,
had a
that
good
you're
game
not
in a while.
expecting. Maybe an old vet, maybe a Larry Fitzgerald has a good game or something. Somebody that you're not going to call out and go, he's going to have a good game. This isn't a segment where we're going to, be mouth breathers and tell you, whoa, Derrick Henry and Saquon are going to play very well.
Yeah, Russell Wilson's going to have a great game.
We're not even claiming to be psychics here. It's just fun to kind of help try to predict the future when you're playing fantasy football and stuff, and you never know who's going to come out and have a game. Malcolm Brown, perfect example. Yeah, just because he's the starting running back for the Rams didn't mean anything. We've seen several starting running backs who have the carries not deliver.
Well, Malcolm Brown,
we
he's sharing
saw
snaps with what's his face?
Cam Akers.
And Cam Akers has seen more touches anyway, or he was supposed to be seeing more touches. I think he was.
Make no mistake,
Yeah.
Malcolm Brown.
Oh, he's the guy now.
He came away with it as the
He
guy.
is the guy now.
And he performed beautifully. And was he as flashy as Gurley? No, but
You don't need to be.
he did the job. He did the job. So we're looking for candidates like that. And as far as bums, same deal. Who do you predict is going to stink it up? We're trying to just throw a rope and help people out here, and it's also kind of fun because then you look back, you look at who was a bum, you look at who broke out.
You might look like an asshole. You might look like a prophet. So.
And we figure, these professional sportscasters, they look like assholes every day.
Oh yeah. So why can't we?
So why not? Anyway, and they get paid to do it. We're doing this for free. This is for us. This is a labor of love.
Yeah, this is for fun, man.
So either of you two have a breaker you want to start with?
Yeah, I'll start. I'm gonna say Stephon Diggs. I don't think he's a guy he hasn't really been able to break. I mean, last year he did good, I guess.
Sure.
But I think with a new team, I think he's gonna go off this week. I think he's gonna go for 100+ yards, 2 receiving touchdowns, and I think he's gonna really start climbing the charts here.
And that's the Bills versus the Dolphins.
Yes. I
Okay.
mean, I guess you could say, yeah, that's a pretty easy pick, but I mean,
It's easier than mine, but yeah.
okay, so that's what I'm gonna say there.
No, but I like it. It's a new team, so and like we talked about with Odell, you expect these guys to do well. Sometimes they don't always come out, guns blaze.
I mean,
but
I would say
we'll see what
Odell
we
you
got.
could put out there too if that was something like that.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't had really that breakout year since he was with the fucking Giants, dude.
It's one of those interesting.
And I feel
calls.
the same way as Stephon Diggs. I mean, he did do good with the Vikings last year, but not like he was supposed to. They didn't use him, I feel like.
when he's been talking up a huge game. So okay.
And that's where I'm at with him. I think he's kind of underrated. I really do.
In terms of wide receiver ones, I
Yeah.
agree with you.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
not like he's bad. It's just I think he's very underappreciated, very underrated, and I feel like he has a higher ceiling than a lot of people give.
I like it.
So
Who's your breakout, Skylar?
I got Janu Smith. Funny you mentioned him on the in the pre.
I had a feeling. I do really like that pick. Jonnu Smith, bear in mind, the Tennessee Titans for a long time had a stalwart tight end, never a number 1 tight end, always a top 3 or 4 guy in Delaney Walker, who was really just dealing with awful ankle injuries all year last year. This is their first year without him. And Jonnu Smith came out and he looked like a reliable target on a team with a guy who is not often called to throw more than 150 yards a game. And in a game where Corey Davis had one of the best games of his career, not saying much, but he did. Jonnu Smith was just as, if not more, a go-to reliable target. He seemed to get the first looks.
To the point where I picked him up on the free agent wire last week.
And they're playing
Yeah, I
Jacksonville this
benched it,
week,
yeah.
so that's a perfect. I
benched-
think that's a perfect matchup.
That's a good play.
I
Yeah.
benched him over Higbee. Higbee didn't do shit for me last week.
Yeah. I wasn't sold on Higbee anyway. No, I like Jonnu Smith. He found the end zone last week, and he looked even though he didn't catch all of his balls, it looked like he got the first looks from
Yeah.
Tannehill every time,
Yeah.
which is a good sign.
Yep.
I really enjoy that pick, and I think he can blossom into a top 10 tight end. My pick this week for Breakers, I'm going with Brandon Ayuk. The 49ers.
Yeah, he's coming off. He's going to play this week.
He's playing this week, the 49ers rookie receiver, on a week where they need help. They just signed Mohamed Sanu. Obviously, he doesn't know the system yet,
I don't even think they're playing him yet because he's got like a foot thing going on.
and they probably won't. But Dante Pettis has been an enormous letdown. Not been the guy that fantasy people kind of predicted he would be. Brandon Ayuk coming from a rookie class that is brimming with potential. This is arguably, in terms of potential and entering the draft, this was the greatest rookie receiving class ever.
Oh,
and
yeah.
in terms of NFL production, we're predicting it's going to be the best since 2014.
Yeah.
You know, the fabled year with Odell and Mike Evans and Sammy Watkins and all those guys. So I'm expecting good things out of Brandon Ayuk's first game, and who better to carve up first than the Jets with a
Oh, yeah.
very sus secondary,
Just
no Jamal
depleted.
Adams to worry about anymore. I think he'll come out and have a great game, and also Deebo Samuel's hurt, Jalen Hurts hurt. Mm-hmm. I think it's going to be who all was catching passes last week. I can tell you what, it wasn't any receivers. It was Raheem Mostert through the air, and it was Tevin Coleman
Kittle
through the air.
for
George
for a
Kittle
little
was-
bit until he got hurt.
Kittle was bottled up. He's got an ankle injury, so I expect it to be the Brandon Ayuk show coming in against the Jets. And I think that Jimmy G is going to be happy to at least have somebody, a designated receiving target.
Okay, I'll give you guys one more on that then.
Okay.
Because I think CeeDee Lamb is actually going to have a breakout game against the Falcons.
I like it.
Because that secondary, obviously, it's not that great. Wasn't that great last year.
Yeah.
And I was watching on that game last week. CeeDee Lamb, he only had like a few catches there, but this guy's going to be great. This rookie is going to be promising, I think. If
Yeah.
Dak Prescott can figure it out, which I hope he can. Not too big of a fan of his, but when you got a guy like CeeDee Lamb, dude, like he's got the moves. He's quick. He's so fast. Great hands, man. I have a feeling he's going to go off for more than 100 yards this game.
Well, and he was, while not my personal favorite receiver in the draft, he was, in my opinion, the most talented.
Yes.
I saw
I
a
saw a little showcase there watching that Monday night game, and I think I have a feeling that he's going to go off for 100 yards and at least a touchdown.
Okay, so from breakers to bums.
That's our bust of the week, right?
Yeah, who do we assume is going to be the bust of the week?
I'm gonna go James Conner. I didn't think he looked very good last week.
Well-
I know he got injured early, but he had where is it? Right here. 6 attempts for 9 yards.
Yeah, he wasn't looking very good, and then Snell came in and just
Yeah.
blew it out. So I think Snell actually probably has that role.
I think Connors is gonna start. But
I don't know, man. I think they might start
if
Snell
they show any trouble, I think
because I think he's okay. He had a little ankle injury, right?
he's not even questioned.
No, I think he's okay. He's
back.
practicing fine. So that's who you got for your bum, huh? I think Michael liked this one. I think Melvin Gordon's gonna fucking have a breakdown this week. I think
Okay.
he's gonna cough the ball up at least one time.
They're playing Pittsburgh.
And that's exactly
we
why.
saw how bad they stopped Saquon Barkley,
Mm-hmm.
who, depending on who you ask, is one of the best, or he's at least a top 2, top 3 running back in football. That's a no-brainer,
So,
man.
in fantasy terms, if there's a stardom sit-em, I would say Melvin Gordon's a sit-em this week because
Absolutely,
I do not think he's gonna get
I've definitely-
anything, man.
and that
definitely
Steelers run defense looked out of their
Connors.
mind.
Yeah.
For my bum of the week, I'm kind of cheating here, but I'm picking the Texans receivers.
All of them.
All of them.
Yeah, going up against that Baltimore defense, man. I mean, It's tough. That's
Any of
That's a
them.
tall order.
Brandon Cooks, no. Randall Cobb, no. Will Fuller has the best shot because he's probably going to get the most targets because he's Deshaun Watson's number one.
Yeah.
No, I absolutely don't see a game-breaking guy that can come out against a Ravens defense that's tough as nails and make a difference. I'm sitting Deshaun Watson this week. I'm playing Jimmy Garoppolo
Yep.
in his
That's
stead. I don't like
One of my favorite starting quarterbacks this week.
I mean, I like Deshaun Watson in terms of talent, and I would maybe lean towards starting him if they had DeAndre Hopkins still, but they don't. And the Ravens defense is not one to be trifled with. I'm not trying to play any games here. I would say any Texans receivers, not one of them is going to have a breakout game if I'm a betting man.
Yeah, I'd have to kind of agree there. Because we were talking about how Deshaun Watson's going to play against this defense, and that obviously implements the receivers in that too. So
I mean,
I don't think any of them
you're
are going to
betting-
have too great of a game.
If you're betting on a Texans pass catcher to get a touchdown, it better be Jordan Akins.
Yeah,
I don't see any of those wide receivers burning the Ravens unless they're just caught sleeping. So moving on, we've got the picks,
picks are in.
weekly picks. So first things first, we've got the Jaguars and the Titans. Titans 8-point favorites.
Okay, yep. Never mind.
Okay. Titans are 8-point favorites in Vegas odds, which is crazy to me. Did the Jaguars not win last week?
Wasn't that the lock of the week?
That was our lock of the week. Do we have a lock of the week here?
Yeah, Tennessee over
Yeah,
Jacksonville.
I would say that's the lock of the week.
Is that the lock of? No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No,
Yeah.
there
yes,
is.
it is.
No, it's
yes,
not.
it is.
No, the fuck
100%.
it's not.
100%.
Who else would it be?
Chiefs over Chargers? Are you insane?
You're counting your team out as the lock of
Yes.
the week?
I would say the lock of the week is the Chiefs over the goddamn Chargers.
I would not
Yes.
say
You
that.
can make-
I think that game's going to be a lot closer than you think, Mike. I know you guys struggle against the Bengals.
Niners over the Jets. Is that not a lock of the week?
Okay, there might be a couple
There
then.
might be a couple, but we
Give
gotta
some
pick
credit to
one.
Gardner Minshew for crying
I'm not
out
shitting
loud.
on him. I'm just saying
18
that Tennessee offense is no joke.
Come on, he got in trouble last week for winning.
So
He got drug into the owner's office. Hey, we wanted Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
quit
We need
winning.
to stop.
Okay, so
we
you
want
guys
sunshine.
Okay, so you guys are both going Titans in this game, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
What's the over under of that?
8.
Over under?
Oh.
It's let's see. 44.
I'm gonna say
I'm gonna take the
I'm gonna
under.
take the under on that.
Fuck you. I'm taking the over. I'm taking the over, and you know what? I'm going for the Titans as well. So the
Okay.
I'm sorry. I can't. The Jaguars getting a week 1 win is hilarious.
It is pretty funny, especially when it was our lock of the week.
Hey, come on.
Tell you what, Jaguars, if you win this game, I'll start believing. But
I thought you were gonna say you're gonna eat your hat.
They've got their.
I'm not wearing a hat.
They've got their best record all year right now.
I think they're
1-0.
going 1-0.
I mean,
I think they'll win probably another one, but maybe.
yeah.
But their record will
that's
never.
right.
Their
This
record.
one.
Their record will never be as good as it is right now.
No.
Okay, so you guys are being ridiculous. Obviously, the Titans' defense looked pretty decent last week. They especially their goal line defense. I mean, up till the end there.
Right.
We're looking at a Jaguars offense that, I mean, Gardner Minshew. Let's not let it be understated. Gardner Minshew went 19 for 20. He didn't throw more than 200 yards, but 3 touchdowns, not to be understated, with a team with no running game.
Yeah, I like Uncle Rico, man. I like it.
But their offense is their offense is going to be pretty one-dimensional.
Well, they got like DJ Chark.
Kiki, well, no. What's his name? Keelan Cole.
Yeah.
D.D. Westbrook did not play last week.
Fuck that guy.
Laviska Shenault, he's a rookie that had
D.D.
a
Westbrook,
touchdown.
I thought was going to be just a breakout last year. Like I thought he was going to have a great season. No.
I've been trying to ride the D.D. Westbrook
So
train.
have I,
But
man.
look at the team.
What seems like forever. In fact, I think since I was frying donuts at Safeway,
Yeah.
which was 2017, which would have been his rookie year.
Yep.
I've been trying to ride the D.D.
I
Westbrook
thought
train.
it was going to be last
and
year that he was just going to have this
it's
great
just
season,
not.
and I mean, he didn't even get many targets, but
So I'm going Titans this week, but the more I think about it, the more I want to go Jaguars because I want to see the world burn. Not this week, next week. Next week, if the Jaguars win, then let's go. But right now,
let's not start any more fires, Mike.
Let-
yeah,
let's
the world's
now-
burning enough.
right now, let's go Titans on that. And I'm taking the over still. I don't, you guys could take the under on
Good
that. I'll
luck.
take the over. New York Jets take on the Chicago Bears. This
Mike,
is.
That's the New
The
York
Giants, buddy.
I'm fucking stupid. I have coffee and I got that wrong. Okay. The Giants take on the Chicago Bears. This is at Soldier Field. Chicago, 5.5-point favorites. I don't know if I would favor them that much, but I
The Bears.
holy shit, did I say Giants are 5.5-point favorites?
No, you said Chicago is.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
just
good.
now I'm second guessing myself. I've got the Bears in this as
But
well.
I disagree with that because I'm going with the Giants. That's, again, right?
I
so
like it.
I went with them last week. Obviously didn't fucking pan out, but I think they could beat the Bears. I think Trubisky had a good game last week. I don't think it's going to happen this week. I think he's going to fall
You're
apart.
calling a fluke.
And that could have been my bust
Okay.
of the week too. I'll add that in for my second one. I think Trubisky is just gonna shit his pants, and they're gonna catch him with the pants down. And I think that the Giants are gonna overcome the Bears.
So I'll tell you, I don't think the Bears' defense is as uniform as the Steelers were.
No,
But
they're still tough.
I think Khalil Mack is going to knock Daniel Jones right out of his orthopedic shoes.
Danny Dimes.
So I think it's going to be closer than people expect, but I expect the Bears' defense to eat, and that's purely my reasoning. I think Saquon could have a better game than last week, but that's not saying much. Saquon could rush for 10 yards and have a better game than he had
Yeah.
last week.
I think Saquon will actually perform better this week. Obviously, I mean, it's not, like you said, it's not hard to do given last week's stat line, but
Right.
I think that Saquon he'll get. I'm calling two touchdowns
Okay.
and just under 100 yards.
So the over-under on this is 42. And I'm taking the under.
I'm under.
I'll take the over.
Okay, let's move on now. Let me take these off. We've got the Falcons. They are taking on the Cowboys. This is in Dallas. And this one, I scratched my head on. Cowboys are 5.5-point favorites. I scratched my head because I really like Matt Ryan's aerial attack, but then I remembered his secondary is not very good.
It's not.
And so I believe I've got Dallas in this game.
I have Dallas.
And here I am opposing you two again. Once again, I have the Falcons, and I think I like Matt Ryan's air raid, and I think that while their defense is trash, I don't think besides Zeke,
Oops.
I don't know. Like Dallas could do it, right? Because I think, like I said earlier, I think CeeDee Lamb's gonna have a great game.
Okay.
So that means Dak Prescott's gonna have to be on point. But I think I liked how the Falcons, honestly, their offense played against Seattle, even though we won, but they did not give up the whole game. Like they were starting a slow comeback, and given a little more time, maybe it could have happened. I mean, they had 3 receivers that game go over 100, I believe, or at least 2.
Yeah. No, 3. You're right.
Yeah, so, I mean, see that happen again. Maybe Dallas has a meltdown. I mean, I don't know. I think the Falcons can. It's going to be a close game.
I'm going to take the under. Holy shit.
I'm taking.
What's the over?
Over under is 53.5.
I'll take the over, man. I think it's going to be a shootout.
I'll take the over too
I think
because
it's going to be a shootout.
I think the Falcons are still going to allow a lot of points, but I think the Cowboys are going to allow more than the Seahawks did. So
I think so too.
yeah, I like that. Even though I like Dallas in this game. Yeah.
It was a tough one for me too.
So moving on, we have the Denver Broncos. They go to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. Steelers 7-point favorites in this game. I think it's going to be a little closer than that. But I still have the Steelers.
I have Denver, and because I saw what Drew Lock can
I
do,
don't remember what I picked.
Drew Lock was looking real nice. Him and Noah Fant were connecting. Now we're getting Cortland Sutton back this week.
I think I went
So that's
with the
another
safe
weapon in Drew Lock's arsenal. So I think they can run it up. I don't think Melvin Gordon's going to have a great game against that run defense. But the Steelers, though, Ben Roethlisberger can ball out this week, too.
Yeah, he found another great receiver last week. I believe Clayton, who had over 100 yards and I believe a TD catch last week.
Yeah, so don't get me wrong. I think Denver's going to win, but I think the Steelers will give them a run for their money, and it's going to be a nail biter.
Oh, it was
I'm
Steelers,
predicting. So I think it's going to be closer than what they're saying.
Claypool, Chase Claypool. 2 for 39, but he was also using the ground game as well. I think he's going to eat a little more. Juju had 6 for 69 and 2 TDs.
Like we were talking earlier, I think Benny Snell, he's gonna have a decent game.
I don't know where I was getting 100 yards from. I think it was Snell that I'm thinking of, but
Yeah.
Chase Claypool, he had a decent couple catches. Deontay Johnson was targeted quite a bit as well. I just think that there's more to this Pittsburgh air attack than most people are seeing. And there are a lot of young breakout candidate type players on this team. Yeah. So
it's a good matchup.
Definitely. I think it'll be a good game too. I don't think it's going to be.
No, I think it's going to be a nail biter, man.
A shootout. Yeah. All right. I don't think it's going to be like a
blowout or anything.
Yeah. Let me find the Broncos there. Okay. All right, next one. And the over-under for that, my bad.
What is it?
Over-under is 40.5.
Over.
I'll go over.
I take the over as well. I definitely do. So let's see here. Vikings take on the Colts. This is at Lucas Oil Stadium. Colts 3-point favorites, which is
surprising to me.
Crazy.
Strange to me. That's
Marlon Mack is out for the season.
That's the home field advantage right there.
They got an old Phillip Rivers.
Y'all know I like these guys a lot anyway. I went Vikings.
You probably like them even better now.
What do you mean?
Colts?
No, I went with the Vikings.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying you like the Colts.
No, I like the Vikings a lot. I had them pretty high in my NFC seeding.
Well, because really,
I'm not letting one loss define them.
The Colts being favored by 3, Mike's right. That's just home field advantage.
Maybe.
That's all it is.
It's gotta be.
That's all you get for home.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
You automatically get 3 points for home. So this is a deadlock.
Yeah.
I think the Vikings are gonna fucking ball out. I mean, the Colts have a chance. Honestly,
I like them. I think they've got 2 running backs, Cook and Madison. They both had equal yardage in that game. I think Cook got the touchdown.
Cook cooked last weekend last week.
Yeah, because he by virtue of having a touchdown, but Madison, I mean, they both ran for 50 yards last week. So they've got a kind of an emerging tandem there, which is good because they've got Adam Thielen. I believe Justin Jefferson was pretty quiet.
Yeah,
he could potentially have a breakout game here, but I didn't go with him because Ayuk seemed a little more obvious in terms of his situation. So as far as the Colts go, Marlon Mack is gone, which means we could see the rise of Jonathan Taylor in this game.
Which supposedly he's supposed to be that guy.
But this is a tough Vikings defense. Mm-hmm. And their rookie receiver, Michael Pittman, is nursing a toe injury. Yeah. He wasn't much of a factor in the last game. T.Y. Hilton isn't getting any younger. Mm-hmm. Phillip Rivers isn't getting any younger. I like the Vikings in this game, and I actually like them by a lot more than 3. The over-under for this one here is 48.5. I think
I'll take the under on that one.
Yeah, I'll take the over.
Okay. I think I'm going to go over as well.
Vikings allowed a lot of points, and the Colts allowed a lot of points last week, so I'll take the over. Okay, but we are unanimous on that. That's not as much unanimous choices this week, and I'm kind of happy about it.
I'm kind of liking it.
It's
gonna make the pick'ems a little interesting.
It is gonna make them very interesting. Which, by the way,
yeah,
kind of an intermission here. So, week 1, pick'em victory. It went to at work. It went to Terry, but between the three of us, it went to your boy by 1 win. I had 11 wins. Skylar had 10, and Brady had 9.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna tally up who wins the most weeks and who has the most cumulative wins. So I'll be doing that week by week. No,
There
back
will be a price to pay for it.
back to our just over.
We'll think of something.
The more I win, the more obnoxious I'm gonna get, and then people are gonna tune out. Here we go. We got the Panthers versus the Buccaneers. 8.5 point favorites. Buccaneers are at Raymond James Stadium. This is the most obvious choice.
I mean, that's pretty. That could be another lock of the week there. And I mean, you never know though. You got McCaffrey on Carolina.
You went Tampa, right, Skylar?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Tampa.
I
even though, so you got to put this into perspective, right? Chris Godwin is doubtful right now with the concussion protocol.
Oh, who
He's
cares?
been on the last K. Then you got Mike Evans.
Mike Evans isn't 100% either.
He's coming off a hamstring. Hamstring. He's not a bum. He's coming off a hamstring injury.
But when in doubt, Tom Brady finds the little white guy
Scotty
to catch
Miller.
balls.
Scotty Miller is that guy.
Scotty Miller. Tom Brady always finds a little white kid to catch passes.
And he still got Gronk. He still got OJ Howard.
He had Wes Welker. He had Julian Edelman.
Yeah.
He had Chris Hogan.
I actually picked up Scotty Miller in
Amendola.
your league.
Amendola.
I might have to start Scotty Miller this week.
Remember Chris Hogan? Remember?
Yeah.
He always finds a little white guy to start catching passes. It's hilarious. So Scotty Miller, he was catching balls, and
I guess Tom Brady gave
O.J.
him some
Howard.
nice words at the end of the game. He was praising him
and
on
OJ Howard
That's what I was just saying.
outperformed Gronk. Yeah,
Gronk actually saw more playing time,
Yeah.
more snaps, but OJ Howard got more targets and obviously got a touchdown, right?
yeah, yep.
It
Yep.
makes
Yes,
you kind
sir.
of think, did Gronk lose a step?
I think it was just game one against a really tough New Orleans team, man. And I think that's
think
why
you're
people
right.
are already shitting on Tom Brady and all that. So
Over under 47.5.
I got under.
over under 47 and a half.
I'm taking the over because I have
I will take the over.
I've got faith in the Panthers offense. I have zero faith in their defense, but
Yeah.
I have faith in their
And,
offense.
and that's where you're going to see high scoring maybe on both
I like
both sides.
Teddy Bridgewater so much. I almost, if it wasn't for the fact, like,
That Tom Brady was the quarterback for Tampa.
if I was crazy, I would have picked this as my upset alert game. But I'm not. So I
Yeah,
didn't.
you would have to be pretty crazy.
But I'm not, so I didn't. Yeah. So, but no, I think Teddy Bridgewater has a good showing, but I think the Bucks get their first win here. It's kind of a no-brainer. You got the Bills and the Dolphins. I'm pretty sure the Bills are favored here, even though they're in Miami. It's at Hard Rock Stadium. Bills favored 5.5 point favorites here, and they're one of my favorite teams this season. I'm going Bills.
I believe I went Bills.
How could you not? Yeah, I went
Look
Bills.
what Terry did last week.
What do you pick?
Washington
look what
and
Brady's
Jacksonville.
look what Brady's doing this week.
Yeah.
He's going with the old Terry Lorimer pick 'em.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not crazy enough to pick Miami. Josh Allen's gonna throw some bombs to Stephon Diggs, like I said.
Yep.
And
Yep.
it's gonna be an air raid.
And don't count John Brown out either. John
Yep.
Brown had a nice little game last week as well.
Oh yeah.
Ju-
I think Josh Allen's gonna throw for 300 yards, man. I think it's gonna be. I think they're gonna annihilate them. I mean, to be honest with you.
I like Miami's defense. I don't like their offense with Ryan Fitzpatrick. I don't think this team is heading in the right direction. Don't get me wrong. I've praised them over and over again this offseason. I don't think they start winning games until it's 2 a time. I'm
Right. And then people are already calling for it.
Yeah, oh, they should be. Well,
Yeah.
Yeah. So I like the Bills here. The over-under, though,
What is that?
I don't know, but I'm probably taking the under. 41.
I'll take the over.
By virtue of Buffalo running a train on them.
Right, like them scoring 43 points or something.
Give me the under. I like Miami's defense, and there's a lot of familiar faces in that defense. Namely,
I'm gonna have to take the over because I think the Bills will score at least 30 something, and then the Dolphins have to at least get a couple touchdowns.
all right, I like it. I like it. Let me get these off here. Next game, we've got the 49ers heading to MetLife Stadium to take the Jets. Home field advantage, not a factor here. The 49ers are 7-point favorites in this game, and this is the most obvious, well, not the most obvious to me, but this is one of the most obvious games this week. You're Niners too, right, Brady? You're not going crazy here?
My Niners? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
No. I ain't going too crazy here, but yeah.
I mean, even with most of his receivers out, let's not ignore this Jets team. This is the.
Could you imagine though? Could you imagine?
It'd be hilarious.
Arizona beats them week 1.
It'd be hilarious.
The Jets beat them week 2.
But I'm not a psycho. Here's the thing.
No.
Everybody called the Jaguars being the worst team in the NFL right from the get-go. I think the Jets. They'll be like the dark horse to be the worst team in the NFL this year.
I think they're actually you all get this feeling, right, when somebody like says the name of a football team and automatically you think they're like decent, really good, really great, or like shit.
Yeah.
Whenever I hear the Jets now, it's like, whoa, that's like my worst team.
The Jets,
when it comes to mine, that is the worst team. Like I think Miami's better than them.
Well, and here, I like Miami better than them.
I think there's a lot like.
But here's the thing.
I think the Bengals are better.
Last year, we were sitting 5 weeks in going, oh, man, the Dolphins might be the worst team we've ever seen.
Yeah.
And then over time, they were starting to kind of turn it around the second half
towards the end of the season. Fitz magic happened.
All of a sudden, the Bengals wind up limping into that number 1 overall spot. I think the Jets are going to be like this year's Bengals, and I think the Jaguars are going to be like this year's Dolphins.
Hey, don't be surprised if the Jets don't win a game this year.
I'm not going to go that far.
Don't be surprised.
I'm not going to go that far, but don't be surprised.
I'm going to predict that right now. The Jets go 0-16. They are not winning the game. They are not winning the game.
Sorry, Trevor Lawrence. Sounds like you're going to be a Jet.
You heard it here.
You heard him say it here, folks. He said the Jets aren't going to win a game.
I don't think they will.
I'll take it. We like bold shit on this show. Yeah, the over-under is 41.5. I take the under. It's a hard under for me.
Yeah, that's a fucking very hard under.
Because I don't think the Jets score any points.
I don't. I mean, I don't know about that. But...
I like trashing the Jets now. This is our show now. We just trashed the Jets for 2 hours.
Yeah.
All of New York hates us, even begrudgingly. They know that we're right.
I know the Giants love me because I picked them 2 weeks in a row.
This is in Philly. Rams go to Philly to play the Eagles. Eagles 1-point favorites. I say absolutely not. I'm not buying that the Eagles are favored in this game.
Nope, that's L.A. Rams. I saw how they played last week. Their defense looked good. Their offense looked really good.
And I don't buy that the
I like Goff. Goff actually impressed me last week.
I mean, he didn't throw any touchdowns, but him and Robert Woods looked really good.
Yes, they did. And then obviously you got Malcolm Brown.
Yep.
That's a force to be reckoned with.
And remember, Philly got killed on the ground.
They blew like a 17-point lead.
Yeah, and their offensive line's
Carson Wentz looking bummy as ever.
And if that Redskins defense, which I have praised, but if that Redskins defense gave Philly that much trouble, Chase Young, by the way, shout out to him getting 2 strip sacks in his first ever game. Mm-hmm. What are they going to do against Aaron Donald?
Dude, Carson Wentz is reminding me of like a Carson Palmer. Like he's like he was really good his 2017 year.
Yeah,
and then like you get to the playoffs and it's like
here's the thing.
Who gives a fuck?
Dallas was double teaming Aaron Donald, and it wasn't making a difference. Philly's going to have to triple team Aaron Donald. It's not going to happen. I'm not taking Philly in this game. Nope. I've got the Rams all the way.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think Sean McVay is a great coach, and I think this defense from the Rams is solid as ever.
Yep.
I like it. I like it a lot, and
I like it a lot.
I'm not going to take the Philly as a 1-point favorite. I'm not taking that it's a dead solid even game either. I like the Rams way better than I like the Eagles in this thing. Mm-hmm. And the over-under is...
I'm going to take the under.
You don't even know what it is yet.
45.5.
Under.
It was 44 against the Redskins. Like in terms of combined points,
you gotta go with the under, right?
Give me the under. Yeah. Here we go. We've got Detroit travels to Green Bay, Lambeau Field. Green Bay 6.5-point favorites here.
Rightfully so. I think it's Green Bay Packers this week. I don't know. You might be crazy or know something I don't.
No.
If you are picking Detroit.
I mean,
they're looking like a dumpster fire too.
Aaron Rodgers sliced and diced Minnesota last week, one of my favorite teams on the NFC.
They really put a show on that.
Aaron Rodgers made me eat my words last week. I came out,
He made me, yeah.
I had them as a playoff team for me, but I talked a lot of bull about how they were the weakest 13-3 team I've ever seen, which I still believe,
Yep.
and how they're going to limp in at 10-6.
Yeah. If they keep playing like
If
that,
he keeps playing like that, they'll be a top seed in the NFC, and Aaron Rodgers is going to be a name in the MVP.
well,
running.
it wasn't just the Green Bay Packers I was counting on. It was Aaron Rodgers specifically. I was thinking he was just washed. I think he was just done. He has been.
He looked like 2012 Aaron Rodgers out there.
Right, because I've been saying
But-
this for the past few years. Like, this ain't the same guy anymore.
Listen,
Yeah, he's coming back.
listen.
Wherever that guy
I
went, he's
listened to
back.
McAfee last week, and Aaron Rodgers is actually going to be on there every Tuesday.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yep.
But last week, he said this is the first time he's gone into the season where his arm doesn't hurt.
And that's been part of the issues.
yeah.
He goes, most of these guys are loving there's no preseason
Yep.
because they're coming into the season healthy.
Yep.
Well, and notice, Rodgers played very well, and then nobody was talking about his lack of weapons. Devontae Adams 8. But guess what? MVS 8-2, and Alan Lazard 8-2. Aaron Jones 8. Like, everybody on that offense
It was apparent
help him.
that they just went off full force.
MVS, who's a guy that I've shit on the last 2 seasons.
I shit on him last year.
I picked him up in one of my fantasy leagues.
Yep.
I think the Right Line League.
Right Line.
Because I'm sitting there going, and
you're still iffy if you're putting him in the flex or not, right?
He's wide. He is my flex
Okay.
as of right now. MVS is my flex.
Mm-hmm.
That's Marquez Valdez-Scantling for you nerds.
Let's talk about the bold flex of the week, putting Joe Burrow in the flex spot.
Over AJ Green, and he pulled it off.
Fuck
So
off.
we run a super flex in the Right Line League. So
Not in the right line league. I did Mike's league.
Brady and I are playing in my league, and he played AJ Green, so that's gonna hurt a bit there, bud.
Yeah, 4 points.
4.4 points.
If I could quote the Fed smoker here,
That's gonna hurt a bit there. Ain't no fucking doubt about that.
Joe
I don't care
Burrow.
who you are.
Joe Burrow with 24.5.
I don't care. That's not going to stop me from
over,
annihilating Mike.
over under 49.5, I smash that over big time.
Over.
Oh, yeah. Over.
Because I think the Lions will score points, but I think Aaron Rodgers will I think they'll score 40 points this game. I like
pretty
it,
bold.
and I think that this will be one more nail in Matt Patricia's coffin. Moving on, Washington versus Arizona, and hold on a minute.
Ooh, I
Hold
know
on
where
a
this is
minute.
going.
Hold on, I need a sound here. I need a sound.
Jesus.
Hold on.
Dramatic Mike.
That's right. Upset alert.
You mean Arizona to San Francisco last week?
I've got Washington winning this game, and you know what? It's for no other reason except for the fact that it's
He's a Haskins truther.
it's one of them movie situations. You know, last week Dwayne Haskins, for one, coming into this season, Dwayne Haskins looks like this delinquent kid.
Can't take this.
No respect. He's a prima donna. He doesn't want to learn from Case Keenum. And you know, no, everybody's counting him out, that he's not mature, but then he wins the starting job. Alex Smith, who many people are like, wow, he's gonna be comeback player of the year. What a story. But he still beats out Alex Smith for the starting
The
job.
fucker I used to work with called him an elite quarterback and called Russell Wilson not an elite quarterback.
Ron
This
Rivera,
was like 3 years ago.
Ron Rivera comes in. They bring in Kyle Allen, who was Carolina's quarterback last season. He beats out Kyle Allen. Dwayne Haskins is firmly the guy. Then they draft Antonio Gibson in the second round, which makes them feel good enough to let Adrian Peterson go, who I believe still has another 1,000-yard season in him. This offense, I mean, they're making these moves. Ron Rivera is a great leader. Ron Rivera gets diagnosed with cancer, gets an IV at halftime in that game, and Dwayne Haskins sees that and lights something in him. It ignites this, we got to get out there and win. He gives the whole locker room a speech, and they come out and dominate the Eagles in the second half
And that's what I've been saying
and
is
pull off a big upset win.
this team has something to play for. They have a lot to. First of all, the franchise is just in a complete turmoil.
Yeah.
Like big change, right? Spotlight's on them.
Yeah.
Not to mention their new coach Rivera, diagnosed with cancer.
Yep.
Great guy, great coach. I mean, that's something to like play for deep down.
He's coming out every game. He's playing. He's getting IVs during games. He cares deeply about this team.
It's his life.
It's his life, and everybody is playing hard for him.
Yep.
He's a defensive-minded coach. You can easily see the touch that him being a coach gave to that defense and what Chase Young being drafted gave to that defense. They had scored 8 sacks on a debilitated Eagles team that looked lost out there, especially in the second half.
Washington's a promising team this year.
They're very promising. I love their pass rush. I think if they build around that, they could, with Rivera at the helm, I think that
They could knock on the door.
They could knock on the door of that division for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, this used to be the toughest division in football 15 years ago, and it's far from it now.
yeah.
And I love Arizona. I think Arizona, like you, Skylar's got them knocking in on the playoffs this year.
Yep.
I've got them just right on that bubble, but they could certainly do it. They showed us last week when they beat the 49ers.
They showed us they could definitely do it.
If you're not crazy, you're taking Arizona in this game. But for me, I love the storyline. I love this Redskins team. Washington team.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, they have so much heart, and they go from. I mean, I hate their front office still. I hate Dan Snyder with every fiber of my being. But if they win this game, if they go 2-0 to start the season, and they prove all these doubters wrong when they've had an offseason filled with turmoil and attention and negative publicity, I'm here for it. And I think Ron Rivera is a great freaking human being.
Yeah, I mean, it could go either way. I love Arizona in this pick only because
I got Arizona.
the way Kyler Murray's been playing. They got DeAndre Hopkins, a brand new weapon, which they used
Right.
awesomely against San Fran. Knocking off San Fran, which everybody's saying is a Super Bowl contending team. They are. They're a tough team in the NFC. I like the way Arizona was playing. Their defense, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's decent.
I will say, Patrick Peterson still looks good. Everybody was kind of throwing shade at Budda Baker getting an extension, but
Yeah.
dude, the guy had 12 tackles.
He had a great game, right?
He played very well.
Yeah. And just watching that game, I would say the first half was like, okay. I was actually surprised at how close the score was the whole ball game. I was expecting San Francisco to just keep marching.
Yeah.
But no, they did not let up. And then Kyler Murray, he was having an average day there, and then all of a sudden, second half hits. It's getting to crunch time. Dude goes off.
Ron Rivera
Dude
has
starts
said,
scrambling, like he's throwing dimes.
But look, I can tell you in that game, look, I know they went to the Super Bowl last year, but I'm not sold on Jimmy Garoppolo.
keep in
No,
mind-
actually,
I don't
He
think-
actually got a very
But-
hard analysis on that game.
Yeah, I don't think
keep
he's...
in mind, most, if not all, of his receiving targets are hurt right now. Jimmy didn't
yeah.
have Debo Samuel. Jalen Hurd hasn't been there.
I'm still not
He's
sold.
gonna have
on-
Ayuk
I
this
wasn't
week.
sold on him last year. There's
but
a lot
he's a
of
rookie.
But Manuel Sanders is gone. They had none of their receivers from last year in that game. The only guys that were really catching passes, and Dante Pettis is not a good receiver. So the only guys that were catching passes for them was Tevin Coleman and Raheem Mostert, who had a nice fantasy game last week. Now they've got Brandon Ayuk and maybe Mohamed Sanu.
Nope, not this week.
Not this week. He's officially ruled out.
He's not going to play this week.
So it's going to be Brandon Ayuk and they had George Kittle before he got an ankle injury, and Arizona, they game planned around bottling up George Kittle, and the rest kind of fell apart, and they still scored 20 points.
Look at last year when the Seahawks played the Niners.
Right.
We got pressure on Garoppolo, and he was...
You guys remember that game?
Yeah.
That first game?
Yeah.
Oh my
But
God.
look,
Yeah.
and it show. I mean, you get pressure on Garoppolo, and he's an average quarterback, if not a less than average.
I think he's going to eat this week. I think he's going to do fine.
Here's the thing regarding this Arizona team, though. They gave up a lot. In fact, more than any other team. They gave up the most on the ground.
Yeah.
Now, Washington doesn't have a Zeke or a Saquon,
Nope.
but they have a pretty high value draft pick in Antonio Gibson, who they like, and Peyton Barber, who scored 2 touchdowns last week. They're going to run kind of a tandem offense. Also, that defense, they're going to game plan around Kyler Murray.
Oh, yeah.
Ron Rivera even said that Kyler Murray's dual threat ability is keeping him up at night because he's got to figure out a way to bottle him up. Because and here's the thing: if he can pull it off, if you bottle up Kyler Murray, that Arizona offense goes nowhere.
Not necessarily. You still got Kenyon Drake to worry about.
Kenyon Drake's good, but I feel like the
Better than what you lead on. That he's good. He's great.
and what did Philly do on the ground?
Yeah, I mean,
He's better than Philly's running backs. But I feel like the difference in production, if Washington
but
is
I guess what I'm trying to say is I think Arizona's prepping exactly for that too. They're prepping.
I think you're right, but I think Washington, if their ground defense is good, I think it's just the difference of, we allowed 39 yards from Philly, we're gonna allow like 70 from Arizona. I honestly think.
I just think
if-
Kyler Murray's got it going on, and they got the best receiver in the league on the team.
This is if the game plan goes well, and I wouldn't even be putting them in the conversation to win.
I don't think it's even
or
a bad pick
in
at
a
all.
conversation to play or to plan this well.
I don't think it's gonna be a blowout
If-
at all.
Rivera wasn't the coach,
Mm-hmm.
but him and then Del Rio's the D coordinator. That's the best place for him on a coaching staff. I like Rivera here. Like I said, if you're normal, if you're not crazy, take the Cardinals. But I'm riding a high of
I don't think it's too crazy.
the feel-good atmosphere of that Redskins victory last week, and sorry, Washington. This is gonna suck. Washington victory last week, so I like them this week. Yeah,
Nothing wrong with it.
that was spirited. Here's the over/under for that. 46.5, and I take the over.
Yeah, I'll take the over on that.
I'll go under.
Okay.
Alrighty. So let me find that. Where's the Cardinals logo? Here. Okay, yeah. Boom, boom. Okay, next up. Ravens, Texans. This is not my lock of the week.
This could not be a lock of the week.
May as well be. Ravens.
I don't think so, man.
Ravens
I
go
think
to
it's be closer than what you guys think.
Ravens go to Houston, 7-point favorites. I can't bet against the Ravens right
No.
now.
Nope. Lamar's hot. That whole team's hot. The defense, everything, the whole package. That is a Super Bowl caliber team.
Over under 50.
Ooh,
Over.
over.
I take the under. I just don't have faith in Houston's air offense right now. I just don't.
Yeah, but
Especially not against the best, probably the best pass.
What about when
Baltimore
Baltimore runs
puts
up like 45? Yeah. You don't think Houston's going to score once or twice? You know, it's...
Houston's better than Cleveland.
Yeah.
They're not going to allow as many points as Cleveland did.
Well, maybe.
I don't think so.
I don't know. I think Cleveland could be better.
I don't know. I don't think Houston.
I think they could.
I think Houston scores more than Cleveland, and I don't think they allow as many as Cleveland. I think this.
That's a bold prediction.
Yeah, that's a very bold prediction.
And we'll see.
'Cause I'm with Brady. I think Cleveland's a better team.
You think Cleveland's better than
Yeah,
Houston?
I do.
Holy moly! I think Houston's way better than Cleveland.
Okay.
They just don't have a defined pass catcher on that offense yet. They don't have like
That's a big problem.
they legitimately have like a B guy and
I
two
know.
B minus
It's a very
guys.
big problem for Houston.
Maybe C plus guy in the case of, or C guy in case of Randall Cobb. It's like Randall Cobb's a C guy,
He's a C.
Brandon Cooks is a B minus guy,
Yeah.
and Will Fuller's a B guy when he's healthy.
They don't have an A guy for
They
sure.
don't have an A guy.
Where
And-
Cleveland
and
does.
Cleveland does, but how often is he targeted?
He did pretty well last night.
But are we not going to admit that?
I know, it was
compared to
Cincy.
last season. That's.
I know. That's the thing about right now.
He
We're
can
only
prove me wrong for the rest of the season.
we're
but
only going into week 2, so it's really
Right.
hard to tell.
He can prove me wrong for the rest of the season, but in conjunction with how he did last season,
Oh yeah, but
this game could very well be an
but
anomaly.
look, this is what we're talking about too with the coaching staff.
But
Total fucking shithole fire. Like
I just think Houston's better than Cleveland right now. It's just the way I see it. I think
Well,
Deshaun,
they got like the same record, don't
because
they?
I think Deshaun Watson, they do. Well, no. Well, Cleveland's got the one.
I think Cleveland's
more,
actually up on them. So right now, I think Cleveland's the better team. Would you not agree?
Cleveland's played one more game than they have, you dork. Here's the thing.
But aren't you choosing them to lose?
I am choosing them to lose.
So-
what
so
I'm saying
therefore-
is
0-2.
strength of schedule. Cleveland gets the two best teams in the
Okay,
AFC.
okay.
I'm sorry, Houston gets the two best teams in the
Okay,
AFC back
okay.
to back. Here's the thing. Deshaun Watson has far better intangibles than a Baker Mayfield does. And I really, even though the running game is not as good, David Johnson, I don't
Cleveland's
know.
got a better run game, in my opinion, as well.
They do have a better run game.
I guess it's going to come down to the defense, in my opinion.
It is.
You know, and I don't think Cleveland has bad defense.
I still think that the Ravens don't score 38 in this game.
No?
They don't score 38 in this game, and I think Houston scores more than 6.
I think Houston scores more than 6, and I think that Baltimore does score more than 38.
I think the Ravens score 35.
Okay, I mean,
I got
think it's-
Ravens score 42.
35-12. This is my score for this game.
okay, I'm gonna go 43 to 17.
35-12, which makes it 49 points, which means I'm taking the under in this
Yeah.
game.
Just barely.
I hope I'm. This is gonna be really. This is gonna be
This
a great
is gonna be the
episode
most. I'm excited
to
for
go
this
back
one.
to, because
Yeah.
then we're gonna see how bad I look like a jackass.
Someone's gonna look like an asshole.
I'm gonna look like a big time asshole. But you know where I'm not looking like an asshole? Right here. Chiefs visit SoFi Stadium. They play the Chargers. Chiefs 8.5-point favorites. This is my lock of the week. The Chiefs are going to destroy the Chargers. I hate to say it because that's my team. It's obviously my team, but I don't expect all the problems with the Chargers offense to be righted in 1 week. I think the Chargers defense is still going to perform very well, but you're not going to outscore the Chiefs.
That's the thing. That's really what it is, because I don't think the Chiefs do have a good defense. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I don't think that the Chargers can't do anything against that defense. That's not
No,
what I'm saying.
No, I expect
I
a
just
lot
think
of points.
I just think, like we were talking about, I can't find a flaw in the Chiefs' offense.
There's
can't.
none. There's
I
not
cannot.
a single flaw. And here's the thing. I expect a lot of points. I take the over in this game.
For sure. It's crazy if you don't.
It's 47.5. I take the over. I think both teams are capable of putting up points.
Yeah.
I'm not taking as much as I like the guy still and I have faith. I will not take Tyrod Taylor in an arms race against Patrick fucking Mahomes.
I don't like counting
It's
anybody
not
out
happening.
after week 1. I'm not going to count anybody out.
Oh, that's for sure.
You know, because
Right.
Tyrod, you didn't look all that great, but it was week 1, his first game, dude. Like,
Yeah, but it was against a Bengals defense that
I don't
isn't
care who
good.
I don't care who you're playing. I don't
know.
care.
It's lock of the week for me. It's
I
Chiefs
have
over
to
the
say,
Chargers.
like, yeah, we locked in Indianapolis, but the rest of the sports community did too.
Right.
I mean, we aren't the only ones that did it.
No, and that's the beautiful thing about sports is it's so unpredictable. You could sound like the
Yeah.
smartest motherfucker out there, or you could sound
I'd say
like a complete asshole.
99.9% of the sports world
Yeah.
picked Indianapolis to
That's
win.
why
that
it's
game.
always
They did.
cool when the underdog wins, especially when you're betting in Vegas. But
Whoever betted on Jacksonville last week,
and you
good
know,
on you.
people live for that, especially rich people.
Is Tennessee still your guys' lock of the week this week?
Yes.
You have them more likely to beat Jacksonville than KC over the Chargers?
yes.
Yeah. Like I'm saying, dude, I don't
Interesting. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't think the Chargers. I don't know, man, because I don't think the Chargers are that bad. I know the Chiefs. The only thing is the Chiefs' offense.
I'm just going to say
Who knows? Everything might not go according to plan. You don't
I
know.
appreciate the faith in the team right now. We'll see how we're talking Sunday when we get to actually watch the Chargers in our area, and they're gonna embarrass my ass like they do every time I get to see
do we
them.
actually get to watch
We
that
get
game?
them in that area, in our area. Yep. We
all
get
it
to see the
takes, man,
Chiefs and
all
the
it really
Chargers.
takes is a couple big plays to get momentum going. So you never know.
I know what it takes to get
You-
going.
you
I just
never know.
My team has kicked me in the balls so many damn times. You just.
I know it.
Anyway, let's get off of that before I
Sunday
get
night
sad.
football.
Sunday
Yep.
night football. The New England Patriots, they go to CenturyLink Field to take on the Seahawks.
So
Let's
before we do
Get
anything,
it.
did you guys hear Bill Belichick's comments
Oh.
on Russell Wilson?
Is the best player he's ever
Listen.
seen, right? He said,
This guy's a tremendous player. Honestly, I think he's in a way, maybe underrated by the media and the fans.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I really don't see anybody better than this player. He can do everything. He's obviously got great leadership, playmaking skills. He plays very well in the most critical situations in the game. His decision making, running, passing, and his passing numbers are extraordinary. You put him up against anybody since he's been in the league, literally anybody in almost any category. His winning percentage is impressive. He's there for every game, never missed a game. He's got great ability to do the right thing at the right time, and he has tremendous vision. He sees the field extremely well. I don't think there's a better deep ball passer in the league in terms of decision making and accuracy. He attacks literally every inch of the field. You have to defend with him the deep ball, the sidelines, the scramble, his ability to get the ball to his playmakers and and space, and then you have to try to tackle him. That's very difficult too.
and that's a lot coming from
And
Belichick.
that's
Probably,
coming from Bill Belichick.
one of the best coaches in the NFL.
Well, and let's face it,
in all history.
this is going to be Russell Wilson's MVP campaign, and I think this is
Zero MVP vote since he's been in the league.
This is as good a year for him to do it as any. Obviously, I mean, we got our jollies out with Pat Mahomes and Lamar Jackson, who
Right.
came up and kind of took the whole league by storm, back-to-back years.
Yep.
I think if there's ever a chance for Russ to get one, it's this
think
year.
you're right.
Obviously, you guys have Seattle. in
Oh,
this
yeah.
game. Yeah.
I don't know who doesn't, but
Seattle's 4-point favorites against New England. I think New England's defense is going to keep this one close.
we got Stephen Gilmore over there. He's probably the best
That's
DB in the league.
Stefan to you, mister.
Stephen, whatever, dude.
I'm taking the under on this game. I think that it's going to be a battle of defenses.
What is the over under?
45.
Yeah, it's gonna be the under.
I'm going to go over.
I think it's going to be a defensive battle. I do still like the Seahawks
It's
here.
always a defensive battle. Come on, you're taking the over, really?
Yep.
You know exactly how these games go against
It's
New
an over.
England,
Yeah.
and with or without Tom Brady, man.
But you know what I'm looking at?
The new offense.
The offense for both teams.
No, the new
And is
offense.
it not a shootout every time we play Cam Newton? It doesn't matter. I mean, we've only seen it in
Yeah, but Cam
Yeah,
Newton don't have that many
Carolina, but-
weapons this year.
He doesn't have any weapons.
He has like close to none.
Here's the thing. I think it's going to be 24-21 in this game. It's going to be right at 45.
So you're not even taking the under. You're taking
If I'm right, I
Even.
mean, but I'm let's say the under. In
Yeah,
fact,
I
fuck
mean,
it. 23-21 Seahawks.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see the highest score going over like 26, like 20, 24.
I got 27-20 Seahawks.
Like yeah, like
Okay.
27 would be like the highest I'd put
Yeah.
the Seahawks scoring.
I just think the Patriots they've not been known to allow a lot of offense in their games. I mean, Seattle's offense looks great, and I think Russ is going to be very efficient. But I think they're going to
Chris Carson's gonna go off.
Yeah, I think they're going to bottle up the run game. I feel like they're going to really hit the run game real hard. Or it could be a case where they overcompensate and overplan for Russ, and maybe Carson finds an
honestly,
opening.
Yeah.
that's what I'm taking from Belichick's
Yep.
words there is
Exactly.
he's planning on Russ.
Yeah. Oh
But,
yeah.
I mean, Belichick's normally not a guy to bet against. I believe this is the first time since 2014 or something that the Patriots have not been favored in a game.
Yeah.
And I believe
Yeah, it was a long time.
And I believe the last time was when everybody overreacted to that beating that the Chiefs gave them back on Monday night 6 years ago. It's interesting. It's weird to not automatically pick New England to win a game, but Seattle's looking sharp, and Russ is going after that MVP award.
That's gonna make
so.
these pick'ems really interesting this year.
And our final game, we've got Monday night. We've got the Saints. They go to Allegiant Stadium. They're taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. And I believe the Saints are favored 5.5 points.
Yeah, Saints, New Orleans, all day.
Yeah, I think the Saints only lose like 3 games this year.
Michael Thomas
and
is out, by the way.
He is out, but
They still got weapons.
that defense is still stout, and
They still got Manny Sanders.
they got Alvin Kamara. I think they're going to be fine. I just think the Saints are going to lose 3 games this season.
You know
and
what?
Vegas is
Hold
not
on.
one of them.
Hold on. Stop. For the sake of the show, I know my pick'em sheet says Saints, but for the sake of the show, I'm gonna pick Raiders.
Raiders.
You're insane.
No, I mean, you got Josh Jacobs, I guess, and Derek Carr.
With Michael Thomas out,
I'm purposefully
no.
leaving that.
Because
Over
guess
the
what?
Saints logo.
Because guess what? 'Cause, hey, guess what happened last? Guess what happened last week against Michael Thomas? Didn't even do anything.
well,
So if that's the reason
that's
you're
for the
picking
sake of
him.
the show. For the sake of the show.
No.
Over under 49.5.
It's over.
I'd say over as well.
I have the score actually picked 34 New Orleans, 20 Las Vegas.
Okay. I think the only player on the Raiders that's going to really eat is going to be Jacobs.
Yep.
It's going to be the same story, which is good for anybody who owns Jacobs in fantasy. He had an outstanding game last week. But yeah,
Pretty
I
sure
mean
I'm
the
playing
Saints.
the motherfucker.
Like I said, I just don't think the Saints are going to lose this week.
yeah, that's
not
that's
happening.
John Reed. He's got Josh Jacobs
Yeah.
playing me this week.
All right. So we've got those out of the way. So what are you guys have the Titans to upset. I have the Redskins to upset this week.
Well, Titans on an upset. It's a
The
lock
lock.
of the week.
Sorry, what are your upsets this week?
Oh, yeah, let's get
What's
to
my
that.
upset?
My upset would be
My upset on the show is going to be
mi-
Raiders.
mine is Giants.
Raiders for him.
Mine's Giants
Okay.
over Chicago.
So let me get to the. Let me preview the card for the G1 Climax. So the G1 Climax, normally we get this in June. This year we're getting it in September. For wrestling fans such as myself who are just done to death with WWE's bullshit, and we want just hard-hitting, real old-school wrestling, we subscribe to New Japan World. We pay the 999 yen a month to watch the best wrestling in the world. And it culminates with a month-long tournament, usually held in the summer. This year, thanks to COVID, we don't get it till September. But tonight, 1 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, the G1 Climax number 30
You need
starts.
to get another cup of coffee there, Mike,
I know, it's empty.
for tonight.
I'm on it. I am because I'm running low. Anyhow, we've got the A block. They're 5 matches. The A block. I was telling Brady, even though he doesn't really know,
I'm
these
starting
guys.
to understand the names and
These
and the
guys,
now.
I've been saying this is a stacked block. For one, Kazuchika Okada, he was the 2018 G1 Climax champion, a former world champion, held it for 750 days, I believe. He takes on last year's G1 Climax champion, Kota Ibushi. That's going to be an awesome match. Shingo Takagi, probably the most underrated wrestler in New Japan. He takes on the leader of the Bullet Club, Switchblade Jay White, who is a New Zealand native. Tomohiro Ishii, the Stone Pitbull, just a rough and tough, knock the piss out of you sort of guy. He takes on 52-year-old Minoru Suzuki, former MMA fighter, fought for what's it called, Pancrase, which is like their kind of shoot fighting in Japan back in the
Okay.
90s. Has had many bouts with the likes of Ken Shamrock back in the day. I'm become a huge Minoru Suzuki fan as of late. I love seeing this guy go. Matter of fact, if there's a match to watch of his, if you're new to him, this year's New Japan Cup, 2 52-year-olds going at it. Minoru Suzuki and Yuji Nagata, awesome match. I mean, those two
That's
went.
the one you're excited for, right?
Yeah, well, this one's going to be him and Ishii, but him and Yuji Nagata, they tore it down for like 19 minutes last week. It was
Hell yeah.
awesome. Then you've got newly signed to New Japan, the absolute unit himself, Jeff Cobb. just this massive 300 and some odd pound muscle dude. He takes on Taichi. Got kind of like the Phantom of the Opera gimmick going on. I like Jeff Cobb. Just a big old school big man.
Barrel chested.
Barrel chested is right, dude. Matter of fact,
Reminds me of my cousin-in-law, man. This dude's freaking ripped. He's like does the strongman competitions.
he's like a big Islander guy. His finishing move is the Tour of the Islands.
Okay.
And where he like has a guy and he like whips him forward and then does a big old black hole slam. Dude, it's awesome.
I like the name of that move, and then I like
It's
how
so
the move.
cool.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Matter of fact, I'll pull up I do want to see.
Yeah, let me
real
see this
quick.
shit.
Yeah. Jeff Cobb, Tour of the Islands. Let's see. Right here.
Off the middle rope.
Up,
Oh,
over,
yeah.
and power slam.
That's cool.
It's old school, you know. It's just an old school big power move. Nothing better. And then the high-flying Dynamo himself, former IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. I would argue the best junior heavyweight in the whole division. Will Ospreay. I believe he's only like 25 or something like
wow.
that. He's been wrestling since he was really young. He's from England. He's taking on Tokyo Pimps, Yujiro Takahashi of the Bullet Club. And just a preview of what Will Ospreay can do. I recommend any wrestling fan who hasn't seen this guy check out his moves because they're insane. We won't watch this whole thing, but just his high flying is incredible.
He couldn't do it, links in. This time he might be able to.
Well, but moves here. Widowmaker, Black Widow,
Controlling the arm of Matt Sydal.
really cool submission. It's kind of a
Now he's got his own.
down abdominal spread. It's a Sasuke special here. That's one of his trademarks. Senton. You may have seen Matt Riddle do this move.
This maneuver's got to have taken out Matthew Gunn. See Spike. What can Ospreay deliver?
I expect him to in this first match. And I expect him to go pretty deep in the tournament. I think my pick for the G1 is going to be Ospreay versus B-Block's Sonata. Deep run. So, if you're interested, look up some New Japan clips online, check some of these guys out, and if you're looking for that WWE alternative, hard-hitting, athletic, sports-like wrestling, it's like $10. It's $10 for even for just the 1 month to watch the G1. Pay the $10, watch some of the best wrestling
Yeah,
in the
you
world.
pay that for a cup of coffee nowadays.
For real. You pay that for WWE Network these days.
Yeah.
Pay the $10. Thank me later. It's going to be wonderful, and I'll be up at 1 a.m. watching it live. So, I think with that we're about wrapped up. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we covered everything.
Yeah.
I don't think there is any. I mean, I'm sure there'll be something I remember after, but yeah, I think we got it all.
All right. Well,
We will see. Mike will see you before we will see you again.
Yeah.
that's right. I will be back Monday. We'll be doing the Mondays with Mike, Monday
Yeah.
morning monologue, whatever I call it, number dose. And aside from that, we'll be enjoying some football, some basketball.
Go
Wait a
Hawks!
minute,
Go
wait a minute,
Hawks!
Wait a minute. Don't we have to pick the Thursday night game? Or our next week?
No, because I'll get your.
Oh, okay.
That will be.
I'll get
for-
yours, and then I'll say it on the Monday show.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
So, We're gonna enjoy some basketball tonight. Lakers Nuggets. We're gonna see.
I cannot wait.
Who fires the first shot? And I'll be enjoying some good wrestling tonight. So, everybody, have a wonderful, safe weekend. Enjoy the rain if you're in the Pacific Northwest. Try not to get swept up by the flood, though. That may or may not be coming.
Yeah, stay out of Portland.
That's right. And everybody else, have a phenomenal weekend.
It's a wrap.
That's funny. I'm